decent vocal quality, aside from the binaural, the sound being a little bit better, in my opinion. But I feel like trigger sounds are significantly improved, are so much better. But anyway, I do have the page pulled up for some stories, and I'm interested to see how, if it feels any different reading like this. I feel like it might. Let's see. Here's a fantasy one titled Madhouse. We're all quite mad here. You all fit right in. Excuse me. And the clown-dressed man didn't reply. He nodded knowingly and offered me a tea. Around me, the room had a dim red light. The furniture had many colors. I starkly noticed the engravings of gold and the black stripes that emphasized the shapes of most colors. Okay. Not can. Yeah. Not can. Yeah. I know you can't hear me, but welcome in. And same to you. Me. Me. You miss stories? Yay. I starkly noticed the engravings of gold and the black stripes that emphasize shapes of most colors. And what if I don't want to drink this? Then you won't see what awaits you in there. What do you want to know? I did want to know. Although I was not sure what it was that I would. A soft melody played in the background, and I could hear the faint sound of distant chatter, although I did not see anyone else besides this man, looking at me patiently with his painted face. I took in the scent of the tea and found a smile growing on my face as well. There was a green color in it from solid pieces, but the tea itself seemed more blue than green. The colors weren't so distant from one another, were they? I thought. What is this place, my friend? I asked this painted man. It's where you are, isn't that obvious? That's one description of where it is. A relation drawn from my presence, but it isn't the correct answer to my question. Well then, what would be? A relation to something other than me, perhaps. What might that be then? I'd rather say this place would not exist if you were not here. Wouldn't you agree? In some terms, yes. Excuse me, there is something I said making you smile? Not at all. Maybe a little. Don't mind me. I like smiling. I like to smile. With that, his smile softened, but his eyes still studied me. It was a patient kind of studying. I was not looking for anything in specific, but still caught on to anything that was. So, you will not tell me what this place is? I was not aware I didn't. I see. There was nothing left for me but to drink the tea. Well, I thank you for the introduction, although I'll admit I'm still rather confused. Well, I hope that doesn't change. I don't believe that there's a state that's better to be in. I think I can drink to that. Same for me. The painted man raised his own cup and looked at me. I smiled and raised mine too. The liquid touched my lips, and I could see my sights changing. A transformation of visuals as if the liquid was poured into the cups, which were my eyes. Slowly and in relation to what I drank, I saw the tops of my vision shift to a swirly picture of flowing waters and gardens full of flowers and bees. I could even hear them. I stopped halfway through the cup and looked at my host. His smile was there, but the shape it took was one of playfulness. One that said, you showed my game. We're both going to play, and that means we're friends. We're both in this together now. I didn't regret my decision, still. It was an off experience having half my vision in one place and the other part, the lower half, in another. Seeing only a sly smile and the desk he sat behind in the bottom half of my vision. I would have asked the question again of where I was, but I knew the circumstance only made it more difficult to answer. Well then, would you tell me what it was in the tea? I'd like to make some of my own. No. This is something you only drink with your favorite people. And before I could let myself think of a reply, I decided to finish the entire cup, without a part of me worrying where it would be that I go. Chapter 2. Leonard, go pick that flower. Yes, Mom. The little boy ran, and I watched in delight as he did. His mother, the woman shouting, was gorgeous, although her eyes seemed to be of a specific grace, open too wide to try and see through most things around her. It was appropriate for her to be in such a beautiful garden. You there, why did you stop digging? Digging? I looked below and I saw that, in fact, I was holding a shovel with a gaping wide hole in front of me. I hoped secretly that I wasn't burying anyone. Yes, don't stand there like a buffoon. I pay you for work, and this is work. Otherwise, we won't be able to plant the statue in time. I see. We're planting a statue. Who is it for, if I might ask? What's with the questions? Chop chop and get to work. Would you mind if I have a tea, though? My throat is a little parched. The woman motioned to a servant that was not far behind me, and the servant hurried away, their overalls dragging behind them. The little kid seemed to watch me as he stood there holding on to a flower. Mister, can you help me pick another one? They're quite hard to pick up. If the lady lets me, I don't see why not. The lady nodded, without needing to tell me that she needed me to come back to the hole quickly. I followed the young man who had short brown hair combed to the right, while dressed in a three-piece suit somehow made to fit such a young child who would also be playing in the garden. And which one would it be, young man? This one, he said and pointed. The flowers were not normal. Well, how is any flower truly normal? But these flowers, well, they breathed. One could tell by the movement of the petals, which inflated into the stem and then back out again. At a rather patient pace. I never had qualms about picking up flowers, but these ones, I did not help but think that I was killing them. But was it murder if a young boy was asking one to do it? What was so hard about pulling it? I asked while observing the one he held in his hands. Its petals were yellow, but it was audibly wheezing, letting out the last of the air in it. It certainly explained why some other flowers were weeping. I didn't really feel good doing it, he answered. I can see why. I paused and thought, what does your mother want to do with these flowers? She said she wants to put it in the hole you're digging before the statue is planted so it can grow from their dissolving nutrients. She used those words, dissolving nutrients. Of course, she mentioned how she also uses them for soup sometimes. They probably are nutritious then. That's what she told me. I wondered, what would be an appropriate solution? There was something somehow deeply wrong about this, but humans never had problems killing living things before. Why would it be a problem if a flower was breathing? It probably was something in the water that they gave them, too much protein gainer, or something with 305 different ingredients that had to be sold like the get-all cure of life. Or maybe they dumped a kind of waste there, like all the gossip they love sharing. I couldn't know. How long ago did you plant these? I asked the boy. I think they were always here. So before you were born, I'd say. And how old are you? 3? What are you talking about? How old are you, little boy? I'm trying to figure out if they were planted before you were born. Born? What does that mean? I had to ask myself some internal questions before replying to this little kid and do a double take. It wasn't every day I explained birth to a kid. You see these flowers. Before you had to pick them to put them under the statue as nutrients for the statue your mom wants to plant in the hole, they weren't there. There was ground first, and most likely a seed that caught in that ground. And then they were born. They seemed to be able to breathe, which is not a usual trait between flowers, but aside from that, they shouldn't have been born different. So I was planted like a seed, and now I'm here. Something like that. And before that, I was ground. Technically, you are more the seed than ground, but who's counting? But where did my seed come from, and what was I before that? Listen, this is quickly getting too much for me to explain. Doesn't your mother teach you these things? You can go and ask her. I wouldn't ask my mom such a question. She'd punish me. I looked at the kid and did not say anything. She would probably also punish me for spending such a long time away from my dutiful post. And I had to ask myself if I really wanted to be punished by a woman like that. We I have to return soon. Do you know how many flowers you need to pick? 4. My mom said we need 4 more. I don't feel too comfortable picking them up either. What was your problem with it? It feels wrong. So you were born with a conscience. That's a great thing, kid. Don't lose that. But also, survive till you're an adult with a mom like that without growing too stuck up as a defense mechanism to the amount of praise she gives you. The kid looked at me quite clueless. But I wasn't born, he said. Excuse me? I wasn't planted or grown or watered. I am sure I am not the ground or the seed. I don't have an age. I've always been like this, and I love it. Oh? And I don't have a conscience. It's just weird to smell the air these flowers breathe out when I pick them. So I want you to pick them instead. I see. I stood up and looked around, trying to get a measure of the garden and house that I was in. It was a large garden by every measure of the word. It was similar to an English rose garden, but filled with a Roman touch shown throughout pillars, vases, and all kinds of statues. There was an emphasis on the walkways that could be taken, that were most often cut squares around the patches of soil that were home to the colorful breathing of flowers. The thought caught my attention. Was there supposed to be tea coming by soon? And as that thought passed me by, I realized that I did not see any house. No home where tea could be made, or a kitchenette even. The space was all garden, and statues that may or may not block the sight from a person or another, but not an entire house that would be the suitable size for such an estate. I wondered where the servant scurried off to bring me my tea. I wondered what the wide-eyed woman would do to me if she caught me slacking. And that's when I saw her walking past the statue to come into our field of vision. "You two, what are you doing?" she asked, her beauty dazzling, but her eyes too wide open for me to ever trust her beauty wouldn't destroy all my savings. This man was explaining birth to me. I told him that I couldn't have been born. We were always here, Mama. Weren't we? That's true, dear, and do not think about it too much. Her eyes then landed on me. Do you want me to give you a moment to explain yourself? I don't particularly need to use flowers to nourish the soil. Mortal adults do fine as well. You are mortal, aren't you? You seem to breathe and have a heart that beats. The urge to check if the boy and her were breathing seized me. But what kind of politeness allowed me to interrupt our conversation for such a reason? Instead, my mind went through the possible ways to avoid trouble, and to get that clown-dressed man to apologize for sending me to such an unfunny place. Of all the worlds and realities I could experience, the doors that couldn't be opened put me right in front of a human burying crazy and static and unfunny youth. Quickly, my mind went through a series of assumptions. The statues are what is considered alive in this world, while people are static, unaging entities that busy themselves with superficial, living, trapped beauty. That leaving this place did not have an obvious solution. What if I showed my value? This woman would not have me being punished. But punished how? It was only them now, the servant gone for a long time and no one else but this vast as far as the eye can see garden. I wanted to know. I was explaining to the young gentleman something that you should have explained a long time ago. And now that I see how blinded he is to his own immortality, it seems you failed to even tell him of that. As I spoke with every word, I could see the white in her eyes being replaced by bloodshot fire, not a literal one. She wasn't alive enough for that, but a fuming rage. What is it that is going to be of our future generations if their negligent mothers treat and educate them like that? To my surprise, the rage did not go past her eyes into her voice or actions. Sir, you still have a job to finish, and I am not paying you for opinions or snarky comments. I am paying you for results. But how do you expect me to get anything done without my tea? I blurted out. My throat is parched and I am being mishandled as a paid employee. Then I paused and posed a question. What is it that I'm being paid, actually? 3 crowns. That is much more than what the likes of you deserve for work such as this. And fine, you are right. You were promised a tea, so you will get a tea. The butler appeared out of nowhere and bowed in front of me while presenting a cup of tea. The cup itself had a floral design that traced with curved and solid white lines. The liquid within had a red color to it. I looked at it and the butler skeptically before picking it up with my little finger extended outwards, as any high-class citizen would deign to drink a tea presented in this way after a long day. I took a sniff of it and wondered how different it would be compared to the tea I had only just had. Would I begin to hear a different world? Would I black out and wake up somewhere different? But some feeling deep inside my gut told me not to drink it. At least not yet. Will you not join me? I asked the beautiful lady. It seems you have a thing for wasting precious working time. I treat you with respect and you still deign to act above your class. I will never hire the likes of you again. This, I promise. I took a glimpse at the little boy, then the sun-colored flowers. Their leaves were as thick as my forearm, waving in all directions, taking in air and wheezing it out again. The stems were also rather odd-looking. They had a red streak rising above the ground and above into the thick leaves. A red streak that seemed to be like... I laid my tea on the floor beside one of the flowers and came nearer to the stem to see what it was. Will you pick it up for me? Asked the boy. I ignored him and looked closer. The red line of the stem had a pulse to it, a beating, rhythmic pulse, one that could only be coming from a heart, one that was pumping blood. Put a finger to it just to make sure. Yes. Oh, of course, I'll pick it, but I'll... And a thought crossed my mind, to dig beneath the flowers to see what creature was pumping the blood upwards into these excitement that could inhale for it above the ground. Or I could feed this tea to this creature and see what would happen. After all, this was a world made for mad ones, was it not? And one could not call themselves mad if they did not experiment with situations that presented themselves. I thought of the clown, his made-up face and clothes, and wondered what he would think of this comic scenario. Would I be trapped in this world forever, attempting to find jobs from lunatic ladies to plant statues in soil? Or would I be a statue before I knew it, just as the many who must have come here before me and found themselves in this odd predicament? My answer to all my self-imposed questions. Oh well. spit in the cup, swirled it, and grabbed one of those large forearm leaves and poured the contents into its shallow breath hole. As soon as I started my movement, all three individuals, the butler, the woman, and son, began Olympic sprinting towards me. I could somehow see them in slow motion, primarily due to the shock of their sudden movement. And my body did not need an extra moment to react. I ran, also in slow motion. When the butler, which was the fastest, got too close to me, I slapped the cup they had bowed down to give me straight into the face and kept going. I believe there must have been a smirk on my face, not because of the violence, mind you, but I believe I was particularly full of excitement at this moment. As anyone half-sane would be, I believed. Lost in all the different beliefs I held, my feet took flight, and naturally, I laughed and stabbed every statue I passed, right back to the original hole that I was supposed to finish digging. The statue beside it was unplanted and looked particularly sad. I laughed, spit at it, and slapped it in the face. The little boy and the woman were still coming towards me, screaming all kinds of obscenities. I began to witness more butlers and women and sons running towards me, and this scared me for a second, until I saw that the statues were all coming out of their sleep. They were moving, and the first thing that they did was to grab onto the passing owners of this homeless property. The statue I just slapped also wasn't particularly happy about my disrespect towards it and came to grab me. I jumped back instinctively and fell into the hole that I had begun digging. I see. I was about to bury you, at least your lower half, and now you want to bury me. No, it said, I just want to meet you face to face. Oh, how exciting. I grabbed onto the shovel. I had left close to the hole, and the statue stood and watched as I dug deeper and deeper. Is this even the right place to dig? I didn't see any breathing flowers here, you know. I thought those were what led straight to the source. I did not want to offend any mighty creature that I happened to wake up from an enforced slumber caused by elitist greed. I thought that the statue had almost said something, but then it didn't. So I took it as a shut up and keep digging kind of attitude, but then raised my head up and suggested, I'm happy to meet you. The real you. I really am. But how about we dig all of those crazies you caught into this nice cozy hole so you can enjoy this sweet revenge and feed off their lifeless decaying nutrients as they dissolve into you slowly for the next eternity. That sounds like a much nicer alternative than meeting me. What do you say? I know that I am as charming as the devil, but these are things nicer than meeting me. Even I'll admit that. You talk too much, said the statue. So I shut up and continued digging, but as was my nature, I couldn't help myself. So what was in the tea exactly? How the hell did it get you to start moving again? What would have happened to me if I drank it? Would I have become a statue like all these statues and then indirectly become frozen and docile part of you? Are you grateful to me that you're awake? I think I'd be grateful if someone woke me up like that. I can't be sure, of course, because sleep is one amazing mistress. But I believe I would be, especially if I could get a sweet revenge, too. The hole did not seem to reach deep enough so that I could meet any special entities that needed to breathe through a delicately sophisticated respiratory flower system. I wondered what face would welcome me. As I continued digging, the ground made way, and all of a sudden, there was no part to hold me up. I fell, and as I did, falling into a complete blackness, I remembered that woman's crazy, hollow eyes, and how I still thought she was rather one-eyed and crazy mouth. God, the things I do for my type. What? What? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understood what I just read. I'm happy you find it comfy, Nightmare. I did miss streaming. I did miss being here. Also, later on, for anyone watching the VOD, we are wanting to upgrade our microphone to a proper 3DO to give you, myself, and everyone else a better experience. If you look at the bottom left, you can see how much has already been funded. And we'll also be putting my own money towards it as well. But here's the command, so if you're watching the VOD and this interests you, feel free to come to chat on Twitch and use !throne to contribute to it if that's something that you would like to do. For now, we're going to mess around with triggers and chat with each other a little bit. Let's see. I know this one is one of Yumi's favorites. She's muted right now, but hopefully it can still be enjoyed. Still be enjoyed by you. After a little bit of this, we will look for some more stories. Are you having coffee with me? Very nice. Very nice. Let me take a sip of that coffee. This is such a nice way to start out my day. I like it. I like it. I guess that's how it would sound like as a cat boy. If I were shorter, as that one was quite long. Let's see. We're gonna stay away from horror. Except for on Sude's, maybe. This one's a science fiction one. And it's very short. And as always, if you guys would like to hang out and chat, more than welcome. More than welcome. Always happy to chat with you. Thank you. You're having coffee with me too. Lovely. Let me take a sip. We can have a sip together. In a little bit, we will go and pour us another cup. But for now, we read. This one is titled The Declutterer. Ever since humans have become immortal and began storing their memories in an eternal digital format, this had become a necessary profession. Oh, very nice, Scarlet. Very nice. Well, Nyahoy. Nyahoy. Welcome in. I hope you enjoy your time here. Sup, how you doing? Cause I don't know. How are you today? How are you today? I hope you're doing well. And I see you are getting your daily praise. Sup, how you doing? Cause I don't know. You are doing so good. So good. And I'm very, very proud of you. We all are. You're so wonderful. You're such a good. So how you doing? Cause I don't know. So good. So sweet. So supportive. Such a good you. The best one there is. Okay. Now we're gonna read. Dr. Dewey zipped through the woman's mindscape. What about this one? He asked. It seems this is a memory from your 21st marriage. The woman frowned. That's from her honeymoon in Paris. Yes, but the marriage quickly dissolved in a rather ugly way. But Paris was beautiful that week. Yeah, but you lived in Paris for 37 years. There wasn't anything you saw or did or felt on that honeymoon that you didn't see or do or feel 1,000 times over when you lived there. Surely this one little memory can be archived. The woman seemed conflicted. Nyahoy. Nyahoy. Welcome in, baby. Welcome in, baby. They won't be deleted, just archived, he reassured her. Yeah, but I won't be able to recall it instantly that week, she said. The doctor sighed. Yes, but that's the problem, isn't it? You feel depressed because everything you do feels stale. And it feels stale because you've done everything already. The woman still seemed unsure. After a half a minute's pause, the doctor continued. Tell me how happy you'd feel if everything you did felt new. Think about how wonderful it would be to have a fresh mind. But I've had a lot of good times, the woman whined. I don't want to forget them. I told you they won't be deleted, just archived. The woman weighed something in her mind, and I'll be able to recover these memories anytime I want. The doctor gave a small, warm nod. Anytime, he confirmed. The woman closed her eyes and gave a pained expression. I suppose I don't need that week. The doctor smiled. He knew parting with the first memory was almost always the hardest, and now that she had agreed to archive one, it would be easier to get rid of others. He pressed a button, and the woman's honeymoon in Paris was moved from her mind and into her hidden library. How do you feel? The doctor asked. Not really any different, she admitted. I can tell you've deleted. Not deleted, the doctor quickly countered. It was imperative his clients never use the D word, lest they grow hesitant to clear their minds further. Just archived. The woman nodded. Archived. I can tell you've archived my memories since I can't recall them. I know I had a honeymoon in Paris, but I couldn't tell you much about it. And you don't feel any different, the doctor stated. No, the woman agreed. I suppose I don't. So, let's find some more memories you're willing to part with. The woman said nothing for a long second. I guess I don't need that time I worked in a fish factory in Alaska. The doctor smiled. His client was finally starting to volunteer her own memories for archival purposes. He flipped through her memories, found the relevant time period, and moved those experiences into her hidden library as well. And maybe I don't need that time as an algae farmer, the woman continued. You're doing very well, Dr. Dewey smiled. At this rate, it'll only take a few sessions before your mental space is cleared out and the world will feel new again. Yay. And if you've enjoyed that story, you can visit their website on worldofkyle.com/short-stories and /Eyomi. Eyomi. Oh. How's my little bunny? How's my little bunny? Thank you, Miani. And she pets me. Yeah. And coffee. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Bonnie. You're spoiling me. I better not get used to it. Thank you. What were you doing? Were you arting? Were you doing anything fun? Oh no. My alarm is going off. Let me go turn that off, and also let me go pour myself a fresh cup. We're almost out. I'll be gone for just a brief moment. Oh, thank you, Isla. Thank you. I'll be right back. gosh, Cop. You watch Star Trek DS9 with Dad while you're still visiting them. Nice. Nice. Ah. Thank you, Feifei. Thank you, Feifei. Thank you. I'm gonna take a quick sip. Okay, Yumi. Nya, nya, nya. Nico, nico, ni. She's playing Red Dead. Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh, you and me. I think do you remember how the vodka bottle, the glass bottle sounded before? I think with this setup, it sounds so much better. What's up, big jumpers? Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday. And I think you might be able to actually. I remember you saying that cork was a sound that you enjoyed. I don't know how it sounds, but I think it picks it up better as well. Okay, you want a birthday forehead kiss? Okay. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, but it's fun. And thanks for choosing to be here. Yay. You think you're mic brushing? I don't think the mic brushing is going to be great. But, this is what it sounds like. I don't have a pop filter on it. So it's just my hands on the grill. Did it sound nice? Did you like it? Good. I do have the appropriate filter for it that I can try to put on there. Since you're here too, you could help me test it out and see if it My worry is that it would alter the sound, that it would catch, because it's very thick, that it would catch a lot of the lows and ruin that. Let me mute really quick and put this on it, and you can tell me if you would like, if it changes how things sound. If it doesn't, we'll absolutely leave it on. This is a chunky mic, and it has a very chunky filter. So this is it with the filter on. So maybe the benefit if it doesn't change the sound is I can get like even closer to it without it really doing any of the, it sounds good too, but does it sound different? Does it sound different? Also, I need to find the shock mount for it. A lot more filtered. Oh no. Do the rubbies sound better though? I'll take it off for now. Yeah, I think because of the thickness of it, it's like pretty thick foam. I imagine that it catches a lot more of the bassy tones. And you didn't hear the brushies? Really? I'll put it back on. Okay, listen. Okay, taking it off. The processing might be catching a lot of the frequencies though, if you can't hear anything when I do it. It's definitely showing that it's popping in at around -30. Okay. I'll try not to do it too much until I can test it out a bit more. I think we're going to keep trying to alter the sound just a little bit. Gotta listen to it and analyze it and see what might sound better. And you being such a magnificent connoisseur, your opinion is valued. Everyone's opinion here is valued, but still. What a good boss piani. Boss piani. I'm already halfway done with the cup of coffee. I just need to put a coffee maker in here. We have an old Keurig that somebody had given away. So we need to just throw it in here. Corba bunny. Yeah. Best bunny. Best bunny. How does this sound too? I was curious. Does it sound like your ears? Oh, it sounds nice. That's good. Yeah. If there's any redeems that you or anybody else would like, let me know, and we will implement them. So we have different kinds of tappies now. There's a new one that I like that you haven't really heard much before, so I'll do that one. We did book tappies earlier for funsies. I think you've maybe heard that one, but this is... Because of the mic now, you can do it from a distance and still read. This is what it sounds like further away. I like it better up close though. Eloise, Eloise. That's my favorite little mushroom. How are you? How are you feeling? Are you having a good day? Are you doing good? Have you had your coffee? Yeah, it's me. It's me, Tofuyo. Ugh. Ugh. I'll look for some more stories. You abandoned your workroom is too hot. Good. It sounds like a nice decision. Good job, Eloise. You have to take care of yourself for me. Right? Let's see. I wonder... I don't want to read anything too long. And this one is very long. I'm doing well. I'm streaming. I'm streaming. And, testing out the new microphone. Not new microphone, but a different microphone than what we are usually doing. And, hoping for some, input. I think we have a winner in using this for now until we get the 3DO. Yeah. Yeah. Yippee. Oh. We had our follower goal. Lovely. Yeah. Thank you. This one has an interesting title, but again, it's too long. Oh, I did a misclick. Whoopsie. I guess this one's about the longest I want to go, but I'm still gonna look around. This one is a funny title. Okay, we'll go with this. Right? I'm turning into you, Eloise. I learned it from you. This one is titled titled Operation Goop. Operation Goop, a distress call to the future, or the stars by the last survivors. Everything you can imagine is real. Quote by Pablo Picasso. Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without it, we go nowhere. Quote by Carl Sagan. Introductions. Dragons have invaded Earth and we need your help. This is a message to the future or friendly star systems, as a polite request to save humanity from hostile takeover. The past and present are of no help, so now we turn to you. Chapter 0, XXX. No one knows if they came from the stars or were long dormant inside the planet, but dragons have taken over the world. Our souls are trapped, the planet is dying, humanity is under the control of these giant beasts. Resources are plentiful here, but the dragons take so much more than they share. They continuously tighten the grip. They value themselves over the survival of all other life on the planet. There was so much good in the world. I see it. I feel it. Their controlling spell falters, and now we know that hate and greed are learned behaviors from the dragons and not human character traits. All children only desire love, compassion, and peace. They live and work together no matter their differences, as long as they are shielded from the dragon's spell. We are curious, as all life should be. Humanity starts off innocent, but we are exposed to corrupted and false data at an early age, altering our worldview to suit our abusive master's agenda of destruction. It takes immense mental and emotional work to undo the lies and free ourselves of the mind control powers. Quick break from the story. This sounds like it might be written by a conspiracy theorist who believes in lizard people and are framing it in the context of fantasy and sci-fi. We'll find out. People share positive messages with each other and attempt to uplift one another. The Dragon Enforcers seek to eliminate this positive social network in our world, and they plan to do it soon. We have become too many and too connected for them to keep controlling peacefully, and the deck is severely stacked against us. We are unable to gather or speak truth without fear of death. Many of us suspect that the end for all life on the planet is near. There are many of us who still have so much hope. We have breakthroughs in renewable energy that will allow the planet to return to ideal temperatures, gold nanoparticles that help us heal, and artificial intelligence. We desperately need to help overthrow the dragons before they can obtain this technology and use it to leave the planet, spreading their conquest among the stars. In previous generations, have been easier to control, could not think of a way to stand up to dragon kind. They were like cattle in a confined field, and thought that a lone warrior would come and save them if they lived their life of obedience to the dragons. The world is on the brink of collapse, and they have disrupted the balance of the universe. There is no lone warrior, and we could not gather an army without meeting our end too soon. I believe the endless pursuit of life and science can save us. Seon, Yahweh, welcome in. You've been with us here since day one. Literally day one. So, please sound, what you think of the changes, if you feel they're a step forward, a step back, or if you can't tell the difference at all, but you know you like it. I'm glad. And let me drink a tiny little sip with you, so we can have our coffee together. I know those feels. I understand it. But take your time here to relax and find comfort and forget about the things that are bothering you for just one short moment. Chapter 1. The Bottom. All changes take place at the bottom. Historically, this has meant organizing people to strike against their masters, peacefully protest, or rally for essential human rights. While sometimes effective, this has barely been a painkiller to the problem. It is like giving a starving animal a scrap of food between bouts of starvation. Our case, a worldly problem, requires a microscopic and subatomic solution. I defer to your judgment to decide on a susceptible point in the timeline of Earth to begin subversion. It should be possible to genetically alter human DNA and place a fail-safe marker that can't disappear or be removed, stolen, or altered by dragonkind. This is crucial for our survival, and the final step: utilize nanites to safeguard humanity throughout the generations. The nanites will be able to destroy any attempts at mixing dragon DNA with human DNA, should they attempt to create any human-dragon hybrids. Amplify our brain function with increased connections through nanites. This may grant the individual powers similar to the superheroes from comics, movies, and television shows of Earth's 21st century, or the demigods of earlier humanity. We fantasize about them helping us to defeat our oppressors, while we struggle to survive daily. Chapter 2. Dragon Philosophy. The dragons do not seem to understand fantasy or fiction, and only see the world in black and white. Use this knowledge to trick them. They only value themselves, our souls and treasure, and cannot create or think of the future. Instead, they have enslaved humanity to create things for them. They have led us to create weapons of mass destruction to rule the world and instill fear into the many kingdoms of Earth. Anyone who tries to speak the truth or fight back is no match for the dragons and their mind-controlled minions. They have threatened us with eternal damnation if we do not obey their dragon philosophy. Immediate measures must be taken before the dragons can turn their eyes from the treasure hoard and see that the current level of technology is at the precipice of major breakthroughs. We have held a firm grip for far too long. They only know death and destruction. Hey, cat. Welcome in, cat. Yippee. It's nice to see you here. As always, and you hear me say on. Yahoy. Yahoy. Hope you find yourself cozy here. Any bee. That was a really bad joke. That was a really bad pun. Was it a pun? I can't make actual puns in Finnish, so that's the best I do. That's the best I can offer. Hope it was enjoyed. You, me. You're very welcome, Seon. Very welcome. Chapter 3. Human Philosophy. Humans have a rich history of peace, philosophy, and many arts. Before the dragons awoke from their slumber and enslaved us, the earth was beautiful, and we lived in harmony. Their powers have turned humanity against each other in many wars. They feed on the souls of the fallen and grow in power after each conflict. Humans enjoy free will, something we've been deprived of for centuries because of our enslavement. If you can, step in to ensure the survival of those who the future depends on most. Historical records have been written by the victors of war and contain corrupted data. I defer to your good judgment when selecting these individuals. Sure, Annie P. I got you. Nya, Nico, ni. Chapter 4. Life on Earth. Kuma. Yay. Aye, Kuma. Let's have a sip of coffee together, okay? 1, 2, 3. Delicious. Planet Earth is a beautiful place. We have uncountable varieties of life forms of all shapes and sizes. The dragons require a hot planet, but the Earth wishes to be more temperate and diverse in temperature to suit the variety of life forms. It pains the most sensitive people in humanity that the dragons are so ready to destroy most of his life for their own survival. Internet keeps going out. Oh no. Oh no. Poor Kuma. Chapter 5. The Future. The dragons must be stopped and prevented from leaving Earth. This can be possible without a planet-wide annihilation of life on Earth. Archaeological records indicate that Earth has undergone transformations and mass extinctions in its lifetime. But we are close to the levels of technology now to prevent such catastrophes. We just need more time, more help. The overlords have spared no sympathy for humanity. They will still not suffer nearly as much as humanity has while under the cruel reign of terror. We wish to take from them everything they have taken from us: hope, love, dreams, family, and time. Chapter XX. Their end. If our theories are correct, they will never see it coming. Thus is the power of hubris. Dragon overlords live only for the present and material things. We theorize that they never evolved past the basic need for survival, and therefore are incapable of looking into the infinite vastness of time. This is our greatest advantage. We theorize that a well-engineered energy blast or image sequence could grant powers via nanites to the best examples of humanity. Powers will likely be based on their inherent personalities and soul identification. We believe it would also be possible to disintegrate those who do not have nanites in their DNA. This will eliminate those who should not be in power while simultaneously providing superpowers to those with leadership qualities that will be necessary to help humanity maintain order and rebuild. I recommend timing this attack during a predictable and large worldwide event that doesn't depend on technology to view, such as a celestial event. If possible, maintain our current technology to allow for immediate sharing of the experience for the whole world to see. There can never be any doubt or suspicion that the event occurred and the dragon spells are finally broken. You, brave warriors from the stars, should make yourself known and welcome and accept the praise for freeing us. We will be appreciative, and if the future is as we imagine, you will share in our celebration of freedom of all life on Earth from the destructive forces we have all endured. The truth will be known and celebrated. Thank you, truly. With love, humanity. Did not get much for the story. Not gonna lie. It definitely felt like lizard people propaganda wrapped up in the trappings of fantasy and science fiction. Beautiful. Oh, wonderful. Now I'm happy. Now I'm happy. Cat scratches. Cat scratches. Coffee. Coffee. just so you know, just so you're aware, what we generally do here is a mix of reading stories and light chatting and triggers. The emphasis is generally on story reading, so I hope you enjoy your time here. This is a funny title one, and it's not too long. Yay, I'm glad. This one's titled Of Caterpillars and Internet Trolls. A garden fable for my granddaughter. My daughter called and asked if I had time to talk to my granddaughter. An online person who rescued animals had taken her own life, and my granddaughter was taking it hard. This was the first touch of death in her life, and my daughter asked if I could help talk her through it. So we chatted, and she told me about the young woman. Not much older than a child herself. She wasn't an influencer, my daughter said. She was real. She rescued animals. Online bullies had gathered, and the young woman was a tender soul, my granddaughter said. She died because of them. I didn't know anything about the young woman, but I could hear the pain in my granddaughter's voice. We talked for a long time. I listened. When her words slowed, I asked questions to help them flow again, hoping that maybe her sorrow and anger would drain away like poison from a wound. It didn't work. The injustice was too deep. I wish I were there with her. I would have gathered her up like I did when she was little, when she would still fit easily in my lap, and I would have told her a story. I would hold her close and say, I think trolls are like caterpillars, and the internet is a garden. The garden is full of wonderful things and poisonous things, sweet smells and stinking rot, and it's full of caterpillars. Caterpillars' words destroy. They bite and tear and chew through every good thing around them, stripping leaves until nothing can grow. Their words wound. They say they're just asking questions, telling hard truths. They mock, they jeer, they hurt, they leave behind mushy green droppings and broken stems as leftovers of their cruelty. Once upon a time, there was a particularly greedy and skilled caterpillar. He knew exactly what buttons to push and which phrases would get the biggest reaction. He loved his words and used them to wound. Overrated. Virtue signaling, you're ugly. LOL. Most in the garden hated him, but some admired him and copied his style and his jabs. It made him proud to be the greediest, coolest, most talked about caterpillar around. He fed on the chaos he created. But it didn't last forever. Many caterpillars never grow up. Most get eaten by birds or stepped on or fed to the ducks, especially when they've ravaged the garden so badly that there's no place left for them to hide. Some, though, change. This one, the expert troll caterpillar, one day found himself full and slow. Without knowing why, he began to spin a cocoon. He wrapped his thread around himself, cutting off the side of the garden. For the first time, he was aware only of himself, of his flaws, of his damage, the harm he had done, and the weight of it all pinned him in place. inside the cocoon, he dissolved. He became goo. He fell into nothingness. He saw himself clearly for the first time. He was hated, disgusting, a worm. He saw all that he had done, all that he had destroyed, and felt remorse, a desire to change. Something inside him shifted, and eventually he emerged as a butterfly, and now he could fly above it all. He was sorry, and he didn't want to destroy anymore. He only wanted to sip nectar, to help plants pollinate and be productive, to be part of the garden's healing. But below, he saw that there were two tiny caterpillars, newly hatched on a leaf below, and around them, hundreds of eggs. One caterpillar said to the other, "He was a legend. He destroyed them. He was a master troll. Let's do what he did, only better." And they began eating. They destroyed, insulted, devoured everything they encountered. They fed on beauty, made sport of pain. And the butterfly fluttered above them, heart aching, helpless to stop them from destroying the garden they all depend on. He longed to call to them, to warn them, but he no longer had a mouth that opened that way. Now that he couldn't chew, bite, or rip, he had no voice. He had never learned another way to speak. Now he did try to get close, flapping his dainty wings in warning, but the caterpillars bit him, tore his wings, and mocked him. They didn't recognize him in this form, and he had to fly away to save himself. He knew nothing good would survive their onslaught. Then another pollinator appeared. She was lean, deceptively strong, and she was a wasp, beautiful and frail-looking, but deadly. The caterpillars mocked her, as they always did. They asked pointless questions, laughed at her shape, insulted her heritage. The wasp smiled and played their game. The caterpillars were gleeful at how easily she took the bait, and when she got close, they set on her, tore off her wings, chewed off her legs, and laughed as she fell. They didn't notice the sting. It was so sharp. They never felt it. But before they could finish their gloating, the wasp had laid her eggs beneath the skin in 2 rows along their backs. You have to go. Me too, Eloise. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I hope you have a good day. I hope you cool off. Please make sure that you drink with all the heat. Make sure you take care of yourself. Please. I'll see you later, Eloise. She died under their teeth, and they congratulated themselves. She was too easy, they said. I hope more come. A week passed, and the eggs grew into white nodules along their backs, pale and pulsating. The caterpillars didn't notice, but the others in the garden did. Usually, the caterpillars thrived on chaos. They stirred up outrage and used it as a cover to strip the garden bare, so that by the time others realized they had been played, it was already too late. But after the wasp, something had changed. And now, when they insulted and baited, no one took the bait. They were met with silence, and other creatures looked at them, and instead of anger, their faces showed pity and then disgust. They simply turned away. The caterpillars were confused. They continued to eat, but felt hollow. Without rage and chaos to feed on, they weren't hungry. Simply, They were going through the motions. The eggs along their backs grew, then hatched into translucent creatures that began to consume them from the inside out, slowly, quietly. The caterpillars didn't notice, but they were dying. If another insect got too close, they might still hear one caterpillar mumble, "That fat bitch, get a real job," but it was muttered more out of habit than hatred. Then, one sunny day, the air above the garden was full of small, delicate, but lethal wasps, and the caterpillars were nowhere to be found. The wasps had cleaned their plates. With laughter and wind like dry leaves, the beautiful wasp rose into the air and flew away. That would be the story I would have told her, but she had outgrown fairy tales and she was on the phone, hundreds of miles away from my lap and my stories. I could hear the tears in her voice, but I couldn't wipe them from her eyes. So I just said, screw the trolls, screw the bullies, screw them all. And my old lady swearing made her laugh a little, and her laugh sounded like wind and dry leaves. Okay. Nice. It was, I thought we were gonna read something funny, but that was actually pretty nice. I like I like how it turned out. I like the direction it went. I thought it was fairly pleasant. Okay, Yumi. Okay. Was it good? Did you love it? Was it great? Was it beautiful? Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yippee. 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 I think we will go pour even more coffee. It's just I'll leave it here. We won't go to the beer pack screen, but we'll stay here. voiced by an Miato. A Miato. Thank you guys very much for your patience. I appreciate you. And we have more coffee. I don't know why it seems to cool so much. It's pretty warm out. Also, I don't know if it'll be able to be picked up, but it does appear like it's looks like it's gonna storm or rain. I suppose you are, aren't you, Bonnie? Bianni. Mummy Bun. I think that's gonna be your new name. Unironically, you Mummy Bun. It still works. It still works because as the MI at the end, yeah, you did it to yourself. And I think you secretly wanted it. Rin, are you hanging out with her? Is she doing well? Tell her I say hi. Give her a hug if you are. Give her a little head pat. And if not, save it for next time you see her. But don't forget, we need to do something. I feel you. Sometime. It doesn't have to be this Friday, but yeah, it would be fun to speak to her again, to hang out with her again. She's so pleasant. And so silly. I need to think about what I want to eat after stream. Eat tofu? Or is that what you want to eat after stream? Yeah. I don't have that. I would 100% make a burger, but the beef that I had, instead of making making one burger and then saving the rest for another day, I was like, no, we need two big old cheesy double cheeseburgers. I think that's probably what I ate for the whole day. I don't remember, but it was good. There's no regrets. I just wish I had burger now. Burger me, you mommy. Burger me. Make me a burger boy. A burger boy. A burger boy. My burger boy trigger coming to you. Burger. Oh my god. Have that as a what do you call it? Like the hotkey stuff? A toggle? Where my head just turns into a giant burger? No, definitely don't do that. Don't do that. Also, probably a good time to mention it. I need to make a post later today. But on our gaming channel, we will be playing Subnautica. Yeah, so that should be fairly interesting, I guess. Should be pretty fun. Yeah, just for the Bianni. Special for the Bianni. Does that sound like head pets? Oh, head scratchies? Oh, yeah. You did it back. So sweet. So nice. What a good Is there a cooldown on this? So, go take care of yourself, please. Please. Okay. Did you have fun? Did you have a good day? I know there are for some Yumi. I don't remember which ones though. Did you? Good. I'm happy that you had a good time. I'm happy you had fun. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Yay. Also, oh, thank you, cat. Appreciate you, cat. Always makes me so sleepy. Such an eepy little guy. Thank you. Oh no, did it cancel it out? Let me... There we go. There. Yeah, I think they canceled each other out or something. So, I wanted to make sure that you both got it. Thank you very much. If I had that now, despite all the coffee, I would go to sleep instantly. But also, Sue, if you have your headphones on, how do you like the new sound setup? You like it a lot? God, it's so soft. Yeah. The mics are literally like 2 inches, 3 inches, probably 2 inches away from each other. So I think it works a lot better for the binaural thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, American units. I'm your American unit. Yay. Let's find more stories. Also, I know I said I wonder why the coffee is getting colder now with how warm it is. And it's very clear to me it's because I'm reading stories, so I'm not sipping it as often as I would be. Duh. Okay, we have a short sci-fi one, and the writer here gives some context. Hi, this is a work in process. Attempt at a flash fiction piece, intro to a larger story that I'm drafting. I'd love feedback on tone, pacing, clarity, and whether it works as a standalone scene. Thank you. What the hell are you talking about? A woman was standing in a green dark room. Black metal traced over every surface, punctuated by flickering yellow lights on ceiling railings. A group of refugees, mostly women and children, and a few men, stood circled around her. They were haggard, beaten, sallow. A man stepped forward. "You aren't making making any sense, he said. I'm trying to be crystal clear. It's simple. If we don't leave now, we are going to be next. His dogs are already en route. We don't have more than 10 minutes left, she said. Again, whose? Because if you can't tell, we don't care. No one's making us run again. Not anymore, he said. We're next on Morg's list. Silence filled the room. The refugees tensed, eyes turned towards another man in the back, hunched, sitting ensconced in an odd green light. And how do you know that name? Who is he to you? He asked. The group watched, tense, as the newcomer shifted on her feet. Her eyes darted around before she set her jaw and looked directly at the man on the makeshift throne, tubes bumping into his body from the chair rigging. Once a friend, now a death sentence, she said. One that's on its way here. Morg is a friend to no one, but his pale god thing. No one leaves his company without losing something of vital importance to their functioning, he said. He gestured with a heartless chuckle to his throne and the tubes connecting his insides to it. Deep, gulping, breathing, rasping through wet tubes punctuated the man's speech. The crowded refugees hung their heads as a slow pump of fluid and mass churned beneath the man and into and out of the tubes. The newcomer nodded and unbuttoned her shirt, starting from the bottom and ending halfway up. She lifted the left side with the right hand halfway. A gasp sounded in the crowd and a child clutched at her mother, burying her face with a sob. The room turned silent once more and stared. Shredded scar tissue started in a gruesome hole on the woman's side, ending up her ribcage and continuing under her shirt. It was dark, ragged, violent. The scar was shaded in chunks as if repeatedly torn asunder, only to have been patched together again. The bone structure was wrong. Things were missing that should have made up a normal ribcage. There were sharp and smooth protrusions under her skin, with metal scaling her sides like a structural open mesh covering. At junctures, excuse me, bolts connected the exterior metal to whatever was underneath. It bulged and receded too far. I see. He has always been direct in his altercations, the man said. We need to leave. I'm sorry. She nodded again and cast solemn eyes towards the scared child. Don't be. Just give me a gun on your way out. Would you? The man asked. She approached as someone in the room let out another sob. She handed him a small handgun, and he gestured her closer. One more thing. Take care of the little one, he quietly asked. His arm trembled as he pointed, and in the crowd a job. That was a nice story. Very cool. Are you feeling cozy, me? Me? That's fair, lady. As long as you're taking care of yourself, that's what matters. I need you to make sure that you've eaten, if you haven't recently. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water, okay? You've done a lot today. You're home and safe. Good. Water. Going through your entire bottle of water. As the bunny says as well. Good. Good. And, to answer your question from this morning about Path of Exile, Sean is supposed to hit me up. If he doesn't, he said he was going to do it early in the day. It's starting to get a little outside of the realms of early in the day. So if that's something that you still want to do, if you have the energy for it, and you're not overextending, then I would be happy to. I wanted to try using the model and seeing if it could both play it and run the model. No. Okay, I thought my internet was dying. Also, it might storm, so I don't know how that's going to affect things. Just from how it looks right now. When did you plan to do it if Sean doesn't reach out? I don't know when I'm going to end stream, so whenever I end stream, I'm going to eat, so it can be right after eating. I can live with that. I'm fine with that. What time were you thinking about sleep? Okay. Chat stretch. We might be gaming later if somebody doesn't come through on the other channel. Path of Exile 2. We'll do different characters if Eloise can't play those, so. You gotta start playing the 2 Yumi whenever it gets free. I don't know how much longer. No, not yet, Sue. I need to see if Sean reaches out. listen, I don't very much like hyperfixate or tunnel vision with games. That one got my attention for a long time. For me, for a long time. And, so did Monster Hunter Wilds. Path of Exile 2 isn't free now, because it's in still, I guess, like, early access, I think. But it should, unless it's changed, be free, at some point. If we play with just you and I might try the Sorceress again. I did try the Huntress, and it's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna have to get used to parrying and accept that the spear class isn't gonna be what I wanted it to be. Also, like, I kind of wonder, probably not a great choice, but like, is there any benefit to being a warrior or a mercenary and wielding a spear? Doubtfully. But, yeah. Also, I had to find myself not to shave last night. I'm like, I don't know, I'm sure I probably will before, at some point. But I was like, kinda wanna be Mustache Daddy. I wanna be Mr. Mustache. But I was like, no, not yet. Way. Oh, she's looking into it. Was fighting a Genshin? Oh, okay. That explains why you're here. Sure, it's fine. It's okay. It's alright. You got your fan on. You absolute nerd. Also, Sue, I'm using the same mic that you have. The one that Aggie normally uses. What do you mean, yeah? Let's see. Oh, okay. Alright. Here we have a sci-fi story titled Match.com Revisited. In the not-so-distant future, the city hums with perfect, optimized efficiency. Everything is frictionless and designed to avoid messy complications. However, one unforeseen consequence of this is birth rates well below zero and a general disinterest in human-on-human interaction. You know, Raj, he said with a hint of sarcasm, most people aren't neurally incompatible. Raj turned around and gave Opie the "what the hell are you talking about" look now. Opie wasn't his real name. His name was Oppenheimer, and everybody called him Opie because of some old TV show from the 50s. Raj, what I'm saying is most people in the real world aren't really neurally incompatible. That's just an illusion for most people, and it's not even a really good one, but it doesn't matter. Nobody's smart enough to see through the fog. Opie, I get what you're saying. As far as conformity and compliance in the general population, and that a few of us are weirdos. We can't be wired that way, so we get messed up jobs working at the recycled nostalgia media disposable site. I get what you're saying. That most people simply don't have a soulmate because most people are soulless to begin with. So, where's the real magic in creating the matchup? That's what I'm saying, Raj. I mean, I think running the new scam, find your soulmate and potential love partner for life marketing campaign is a little bit too ridiculous. Back in 2030, at least, that's the legend. They actually had people that were different. I mean, they were different all over the place with different ideas, different goals, different perceptions of who and what they were. And with all that freedom, all they could ever do was focus on their differences. And so, when the first embodied AI appeared into the human population, it broke people's perception of difference. But this new AI eventually became the dominating paradigm, which was to conform and comply and submit. And in doing so, it created an everyone is equal society with no real diversity. And that's why the nostalgia recycling program is so important. It gives us a way to fantasize about differences that we can no longer have because we don't have the neuronal capacity to be different from what we currently are. But imagine telling everybody that everybody's their soulmate and nobody's their soulmate at the same time, because nobody has a soul anymore. You have a soul, Raj. I mean, you certainly understand yourself better than most. Look, Opie, we may have something resembling a nonconformist perspective, and we are still part of the system. And we are not allowed very far up in the system either because we're considered dangerous. Do we have souls? I suspect we have a little more diversity than your man off the street, but not that much. So what do you think the whole find your soulmate at the neuronical level campaign is all about? Well, it seems pretty simple. People don't like to screw anymore, so if you can get people emotionally invested in the idea of screwing, maybe people will start having kids the old-fashioned way, and just maybe, we can bootstrap a society that starts to think differently and think for itself. Not too much, but a little more than what we currently have. So, if you ask me, we're lucky. We'll find about 100 people who might be interested in that kind of romantic situation. And maybe out of that 100, you'll have 10 couples that actually bear fruit, so to speak. After all, Opie, where do you think we came from? Yahoy, yahoy. Welcome in, Azra. Please feel free to grab yourself a coffee with me. And, your coziest, most comfy blanket. And sit down and enjoy what we have here. We generally read some stories and chat and do triggers in between them. Welcome in. You want sniffies? Okay, so how you doing? Because I don't know. Let's go. Let's go. I hope you feel it was worth it. I don't know about that. It's 3 a.m. right now. It's a little bit too early for coffee. Fair enough. Fair enough. Very valid. Well, that wasn't worth it. Sorry, no refunds, brother. But now you know. But now you know. It should have been praise, he says. Stop. It's fine, so. Oh, you're cute. You're cute. Why can't we pet the mods? What is this? let's see. We'll go ahead and have at least another story lined up. Oh, this one seems cool. And it's short. Wonderful. We'll do that one after we talk a bit. Oh, yes. Yes, you. Yes, I forgot to acknowledge it. Monk. So what are you gonna play, lady? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, cat. Okay, cat. Let's get some coffee. Maybe we'll plan to end stream once we finish the pod. Thank you, cat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That sound makes me think of like my cat form being the little guy on my shoulder, just licking up coffee out of the cup. I need to think about stuff for the lore. I might be getting the tablet for a birthday present. So, not tablet, but the drawing thing. So, that's actually happening. That's actually going to be a thing. I was thinking like maybe, I'm sure it'd be god awful. But I can try to draw my own panel for the lore. And it'll be interesting. But just do like the voiceover. I have that on lock. I know I can do that well. But yeah. Also, so don't forget to send me things that you would say to a cat. I already have useless, and I need to put it in a folder. I think Eloise said that she's not gonna be up for it. Me too. I'm just now remembering. Yeah, I'm not upset at all. And Yumi, I need to make sure that I have everything written, so I can ask you to do your lines, please, or delete it. No, those are perfect. They were wonderful. I like them. I'm not deleting them, and it'll give me a reason to draw your OC in my in whatever form my style looks like, which will probably be that of a 5-year-old child's. So that's going to be pretty cool. With the rough draft of the lore that I sent you, you have some lines. You don't have to if you don't feel like it. I can voice you. I'm just a bunny. I'm just a little bunny. Right? That definitely sounds like you, I mean, 100%. I'm such a talented bunny. You be. I'll just replace all your lines with yippies. No, so that's factual, and that's okay, because I have to start somewhere. I have to start somewhere. You didn't? But I wrote a Yumi dialogue in it. I wrote a Yumi dialogue. Don't worry about it now, because I might need to flesh it out. Debatable. No, it's just literally, what you would say to a cat. You can speak in French if you wish. But, just how you would like things that you would say to a cat when it comes over to you. You're not dumb, Yomi. Okay, lady. Okay. Alright, I'll stop. I just have done digital like 3 times, and it's very different. That's why I say that. My expectations are realistic. I'm inclined to agree with you, Isla. Yumi is pretty great. Yumi is pretty great. Nia. Nia. Agreed. Hard agree. Hard agree. Yippee. Thank you, Biani. Biani. She's running. On Neo. On Neo. Okay. Gonna tend to Milo's ball. Yeah, take care of that nice sweet boy. I'll finish this cup of coffee, go pour one more, and see how much we have left. Oh God, what is this? I'll let her explain it. He's okay though. He's okay though. Yeah. He's such a cute dog. He's an adorable old man. Borf, borf. Bark, bark. Gotta throw a sock on him. Yeah. I'm definitely imagining like the most colorful little dog sock in the world. Worthy of him. Oh. Worthy of a little prince. Okay, let me mute and go grab that coffee. lightnings of thunder. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I listen to stuff I would, or if I could, absolutely would. Absolutely would. Same? Everyone's gonna go to sleep on me. Everyone's gonna go to sleep on me. Oh no. Oh no. I know. I need that too, realistically. But you definitely need it more than me. So yeah, I hope it cools off for you. But you had a nice day today. I wasn't jealous at all. I wasn't jealous at all. Yes. Scoffs an old man. I know. It made me smile. But I can be jealous and pouty and smiling over you all at the same time. I know you know that feeling very, very well. Oh God. Oh no. Are you okay? Drink water. Oh, she's leaving us. She's leaving this mortal coil. We'll go ahead and read one more story. This one sounded pretty cool. It's titled Field of the Dead. It's a fantasy story. Gerd knelt in a field of the dead. The movement of the battle had left where he knelt, dead and cold. The only sound he heard was the wailing cries of the not quite dead. He didn't feel much. He knew that blood slowly dripped from a small cut in his side. He knew that bruises covered most of his back and side. He knew that he should be dead, but he did not feel it. Standing up took him more effort than it should have. He looked around at the ground beside him and immediately looked back to the sky. The ground was covered in bodies. The few spots of the ground he could see past the bodies were covered in pools of dark blood. The sky, however, was beautiful. Gray clouds closed towards the horizon, the sun peeking out over the distant hills, sending its yellow rays streaking across the gray landscape. Garrett always loved how dynamic the clouds could be. Ever since he was a child, he loved looking up and seeing the great contrasts of the heavens. Great sweeping bands of pearl white underlaid by deep grays in the sky behind. He would spend hours looking to the sky. It was so much more peaceful and grandiose than the ground. The ground held sadness and confusion. The ground held the tears and chains of people. The ground held blood. He still held a spear and shield, though he wasn't sure why. He should be dead, like the poor souls he walked amongst. But that was not what fate had in store for him here today. He held his head up, not from the pride or bravery, but because looking down meant seeing the death and carnage around him. Finally, he looked at the land around him. It was in the shallow divot, a piece of sunken land about 100 feet wide. Standing near the bottom, he could not see out of it. To his left, the divot gradually slunk down with the rest of the terrain. He could see the sunset that way. To what must have been the east, the divot rose quickly to match the flush with the rest of the terrain. Past that, the land began to climb steeper into peaks covered in dramatic cliffs and snow. Kier's shield wall had met with the enemy at the top of this divot. The two forces clashing before Kier's side, who held the higher ground, pushed the enemy to the bottom. He remembered the pain screams of the soldiers as they fell by the droves. He remembered the sound of steel meeting flesh, what cruel invention it was. Steel. People did just fine with iron. Kier's force then climbed up the slope, body by body, until they crested on the other side. Near the Takir had fallen. His body had slid to the bottom, trampled underfoot by the soldiers he fought with. He did not remember anything else. Kier began to hear screams and the clashing of steel in the distance. He realized that fighting had not begun anew, but that it had not stopped. He had only heard the loudest cries of the damned until this moment. He marched to the top of the divot that had claimed so many lives and saw the back of his army in front of him. As he looked upon the further carnage wrought forth after the divot, he began to smell again. The smell of fresh blood and dead flesh filled his nostrils. In front of him, he saw the wall of men bend backwards. As the enemy broke through, the soldiers of his army began to turn and flee. Thus, the real carnage and death began. Kier, taking advantage of his lead, followed suit. He turned and ran back down the divot they had fought so hard for, through the mass of bodies and marsh of blood, and back out to the other side, thoroughly cleansed of hope and happiness. Brutal, but pretty cool. Cool writing. I liked it. Yeah. Welcome back, Yomi. We're not ending yet, but this is our last cup of coffee. It's still pretty warm, so I think I want to sit here with you and ramble and chat, all that fun stuff. Let's see. I'll do this one last time. I never want to be too overbearing with it, but if you like what we do here, and you want to help us improve the audio quality, I do have a throne, which has a 3DO mic and a better audio interface. That will make everything a bit more palatable and should increase the quality. As always, you being here is more than enough. It's always very, very appreciated. You can choose to spend your time in any way, and you choose to come to this little quaint, quiet cafe. So thank you for that. see to my right, so I see a squishy, a weddle egg. I see a squishy little guy. Yeah, I did that last night. I think I even prefaced it with, Sue would absolutely hate this. Yeah. I wonder how this sounds. Not great. Little gremlin? Not me. Definitely not me. Oh, little gremlin. Yahoy. Yahoy. Welcome in, Golasan. Yay. Oh, that's quite a compliment. Thank you. I appreciate you. We, generally read some stories here. And, do some triggers and chat. And right now we are having a little chat. And messing with triggers. While I have some coffee. There's also this Yumi, the small bottle. It's pretty versatile. You can make different pitches. It's pretty neat. I like it. Okay, humming. Was enjoyable. Hope that was enjoyable. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad. The silly drinking sounds. Thank you, Sue. Thank you. I did nothing but exist. I can also take my headphones off and we can try brushing sounds. I'll do that. Okay. Oh no, I broke my model. It's always so weird to brush my mustache because of the nose ring. It's so big. sometimes. I will be now. Begrudgingly. Also have a really good support system, don't I? With you three. Yeah. That's enough of that. That's enough brushing. Now I need to think what I want to have for lunch. Do I want to cook? Or should I just take the easy route and make a sandwich? I'm leaning towards that. I really do wish I had beef, because I want to make that burger. Chomp. Whoa. Okay. Alright. If you say so. Anyway, trash time. Trash time. This is very special trash, by the way. Every single time that I use the trash, the play with the trash, I think of someone very specific. They're cool, so. Not you, lady. This is Chad's trash. Do you remember Littlest Chad? The Littlest Chad. This is their trash. Just like Newt's sniffies. And that's not to say that they're trash. I'm not saying that at all. It was so silly last night. They were going to bed. And I have the sticky notes. And one of them is Chad. What's up, Chad? Did I fucking summon you? Oh my, Jesus. Excuse me. I don't know how this sounds. I wonder how it sounds if we brush the mic with it. Maybe annoying. Okay, it doesn't do much. No, I don't like that. Maybe I should try to get like a soft brush for the mic, or I can use my beard brush. It doesn't pick up. Yeah, something to do with the frequency. Does that pick up though? How's it sound? Is it weird? What's up, Feifei? I would say no, but that doesn't mean that it lacks value. If I'm thinking of the right thing, I couldn't completely be missing the mark. But anything is welcome here in the cafe. At the ASMR cafe. As long as you're happy and it's something you enjoy. That's what matters most. I mean, it's the green stuff, right? Or am I completely wrong? I would say that it's not then. I don't think of coffee when I think of matcha. I would, yeah, it'd be more tea. Which side of the argument were you on, Feifei? It's Mother Nature's coffee. Isn't coffee Mother Nature's coffee? Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Chad. This is why you are, in fact, a Chad. My man. Hell yeah. Big EP stretch. Or an EP boy. The stretchies. Feifei, that is, you can think of it as chat, if you will. It's you guys. You're here with me. But we will be getting a new model at some point, made by the lovely and talented Yomi Pot. And it will be replaced with a stoat, which is embodying somebody very close to me, who's always got my back. There's also going to be Easter eggs with the model that represents people that are close to me and very dear friends and companions. It's going to be such a good model. Very much looking forward to it. Looks like the cat you have at home. Cute. Very cute. I want to get a new cat. At some point. I can afford it now. decent life and really tasty food and properly take care of it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Big sippies. Big sippies. Well, it wasn't big, but, the sippies all the same. All the same. Let's have some coffees. Delicious. I need to start keeping track of what's actually in the fridge. Also, when I make burgers, I need to not be lazy and cut vegetables. Because I know they could have been so much better with, like tomato and lettuce and onion. But I was like, I don't want to cut up anything. Despite the fact that I had to cook and season meat. Like I was already up doing stuff. I'm that kind of lazy. It's not great. And it makes no sense. But that's me. Just so I can know what I want to eat in moments like this. Brain just says sandwich meat, but I feel like there's something there. I don't want to cook chicken though. I don't want to cook chicken. Maybe I'll make a fancy sandwich. Maybe I'll cut some vegetables. Yeah. That's how I'm going to take care of myself today. Instead of just a basic meat and cheese sandwich and sauce. We're gonna make it a supreme sandwich with a fancy bun. With the fancy bread. Oh. You gotta treat yourself. Yeah, right? It's so elegant, so refined. That's me. When you think of tofu, it should always be elegant and refined. The vibes are good and comfy, and your voice is so soothing. I'm glad. I'm happy that you feel comfy and soothed. That's 110% of why I started this channel, and what I always aim to do. Unless we're doing a huge stream and like a celebration stream, things might devolve a little bit, but there will be no evidence of it, and we will maintain business as usual. That was a fun night, though. That was a good time. Yeah. Yes. Are you saying it gets deeper? What gets deeper? Also, Sue, with Yumi making my model, she came up with the best pun. So like, there's the culture of calling it like your model mama or model daddy, and so it's now a umami pun. A umami pun. B.A. Oh, wow. You'll be the only mommy for me, lady. The only mama for me. What are you pointing at, Isla? What are you pointing at, Isla? No, you're scared? Oh, no. What? Of a cool model? sent you to somebody that is pretty nice and entertaining person. They are playing Path of Exile, and with my gaming channel, this is my model sibling, and yeah, they're very comfy. They mostly do ASMR. Very cozy, very comfy person. Yeah. So please join me as we raid him. Bye bye, Feifei, and thank you for being here. You can crawl into my DMs like, Mother, I crave more model assets. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. Yep, I'll see you tomorrow around 9 a.m. EST. Until next time. Bye bye.
Well, welcome to this. Hi Tofu. Hi everyone. Welcome in. Wait 1 second. Let's pause the game. We have a pause button now. Yippee! Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Hi. Hi Yumi. Welcome in. What were you guys up to? Are you doing ASMR? Oh, I shouldn't shout then. I'm sorry. There's the Yippee. Damn. So you know about me. Actually, no, I remember you following a little bit ago, actually. Welcome in. Hi Isla. Hi everyone. Hope you had a lot of fun though. Hope you get some good rest. Is it, wait, what time is it now? Like 9 PM for you? I guess. I assume. Guessing. Hey, welcome. Hope you had a good time. Get some food, get some rest, get some water, leg stretches. Don't shrimp. All that good stuff. I'm just playing some Path, relaxing.